give Garrett a warm chamber welcome.
All right, so today we're talking a little bit about, for the front, it's too loud, we gotta bring it down. Gotta modulate the voice here. We're gonna talk about ChatGPT and artificial intelligence and how you can use it in your small business. And I've got my example here of a fork. Because a lot of ways, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, whatever it is, it's just a tool, right? It's a tool we use, fork, car, your cell phone, whatever it is. We don't always know how it works or interested. We want to use it better and how can it help our lives. All right, so today I want to take you through, if you haven't used it before, ChatGPT, and try and make it a little more user-friendly. So normally the presentation, we tell you to put your phones down, right? All right, everybody, I need you to grab your phone, okay? Because we're going to use it. We're going to use ChatGPT today. And for some of you, this might be the first time. For others, you might have used it before. So you got a little handout with some instructions. Grab your phone, and I want you all to go to chatgpt.com and click Start Now. And we're going to use ChatGPT today to go through how it works, some tips, some tricks, and some things to watch out for. So grab those phones, let's go to chatgpt.com, and we're going to get started. I can see people typing away. Alex, come on, you got to grab that phone there, buddy.
I've seen Terminator, I know how Skynet does.
So, and that's one of the hopes with ChatGPT of like, it's not going to be Skynet. You can ask ChatGPT that question, and it'll tell you it's friendly and it's helpful. It's not here to rule the world. So that is a great question you can get in there. But sometimes, if you want to start with ChatGPT, sometimes some fun, simple questions. Like start with, ask ChatGPT, what can ChatGPT do in 10 seconds? Type it in, hit enter, and see what it gives you. All right, who's got a result they'd like to share that it came up with? So generate a short poem, yeah, or a joke, right? It can do that. So another one that's like a fun thing, who's got a favorite song? Joe, what's your favorite song?
Nothing but a good time.
All right, so ask ChatGPT, write a song like Nothing But the Good Time by Poison. Okay.
Good choice.
So now we know also Joe Vitello is a Poison fan. Thank you. And you'd be surprised at how well, in an instant, ChatGPT is going to create a song like that. If you translate that to us as human beings, it would take us forever to write a song like that. And it can do a pretty good job instantly. And that's one of the biggest takeaways from ChatGPT is it's going to do things instantly. It's still not as good as you and I. It's not as creative as Diane's team. It's not as creative like for photography. It's not going to do as great of a job. It's going to do an okay job, which is pretty good for the rest of us that just want a little extra help. So, another thing I used ChatGPT for recently, I had to go to a birthday party and get a gift for the 3-year-old boy. I didn't know what to buy, right? So I put in ChatGPT, what is the best gift for a 3-year-old boy from Target? So it searched the internet, what's popular among 3-year-old boys. It searched Target and gave me a specific list of toys at Target that would fit. And that's kind of how you start to build on ChatGPT. All right, so now we're going to do our first actual example of how you can all use it as business owners to help your daily life. So scenario 1, right? Because who has enough time in their day to write an engaging social media post while they're busy? Yes, I see one hand raised in the back from Missy. Missy would like to volunteer to write social media posts for everybody, and she will compete with ChatGPT to see who can write them faster, just like in the office. All right, so the initial prompt, this is what I want you to type in ChatGPT, and we'll take a little second here, it's a little long. Write an engaging Instagram caption to announce a 20% off spring sale happening this weekend at my business. Keep it friendly, exciting, and under 50 words.
Write an engaging one.
This is a typing.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah. Write an engaging Instagram caption. You can keep it shorter if you want. So as that's going, one of the nice things you'll see with ChatGPT is once it gives you that response, you can ask it to refine it or make it better. So if the result is too generic, you can say, include urgency by mentioning the limited time of the sale, add a call to action button, encourage people to visit our website, and more. And that's one of the ways that makes ChatGPT really powerful is you start a prompt, and then you can continue to interact with it. You can say, do more of this, do less of that. Here's why I like that Instagram post. Here's why I didn't like that Instagram post. An example to follow back up, make the tone more playful, upbeat, or add an emoji or two. Ask it to make it better to fit the style that you want. All right, it's a tool like the fork. It only knows so much, but it really does a great job of learning as it goes. So yes, if everyone types the same thing in this room, you're not all going to get the exact same answer. We have a question. So the question is what ChatGPT puts in their original, and it's a range. Depends on the question. In that case of writing the song, it generally is, unless it's going to attribute it to somebody else. It's going to just essentially create that in an instant.
You can
Yeah,
Great job.
is everyone going to get the same answer to the question? No, because it's learning as it goes. It's learning every minute of every day as it interacts with the world across the globe, and it's changing every instant. And then it also learns from you. Tom, what you type in, your responses, what you like and don't like, will be different than Chris, different than Kyle, different than Virginia. It's constantly learning and adapting. And it's getting feedback on, hey, when I wrote that song, nobody really liked it. Or the person specifically says, this wasn't very good. Yes, and it will apologize to you and get better. So it's really trying to interact like us as human beings in a very basic way. But this brings us up to one of the pitfalls we've got to watch out for, which is called hallucinations. Okay? ChatGPT sometimes, it really wants to do a good job. Okay? It's like an intern that really wants your approval, which means sometimes it's going to give you answers it thinks you want, even though when they're not right. So if you ask it to do like that Instagram post, it might mention online ordering, because it knows on the internet that online ordering is popular across the board. Well, guess what? You don't do online ordering. So you need to read the post and let it know, hey, readjust this Instagram post. I don't have online ordering. In-store promotions only. That's a big part of it. So the question was, does ChatGPT learn from your phone, your activities, your behavior, like Instagram, other things? Yes. Pretty much every tool, every piece of software in the world today has your data 24/7 and is mining it 24/7. Because they want to do a better job for you and they want to make you happier. Does it stop the spam on your phone? Not yet. It can probably write you a nasty reply email to people to stop the spam. A case in point though, you could ask it, what's the best way to stop spam on my phone? And it'll give you some tips. But truthfully, there's no good answer. That's one where you'll probably get a hallucination. It'll try and tell you how, because it wants to make you happy. And I think I saw, yes? Yeah, so this gentleman in the crowd mentioned that when he drives to Buffalo, he has ChatGPT essentially on speakerphone, and he has arguments with it and debates with it. And yes, that is a wonderful use for ChatGPT, and it's a remarkable when you think of Alex made the Terminator joke, how far we've come in the world today, where it can have meaningful conversations back and forth with people in a way that's truly impressive. Like if you start to play with it and ask it questions and respond, its level of knowledge and insight is pretty scary. Kyle? So the question is, any copyright issues when using AI? And yeah, there can always be that, because it's essentially searching. ChatGPT works by searching the internet for everything on the internet. So it finds nonprofit bylaws, like if that's what you're looking for, it's gonna do the same Google search as somebody else. It might do a deeper search of look for any bylaws for nonprofit that's on their website that it can skim through, and then it's gonna pull them all together. And that's why with ChatGPT, you really want to read things over, right? Just like you get from an intern. Look at it, pay attention. Now, Kyle, in your example, maybe it'll save you a little bit of money to do the first draft that way of the bylaws. Of like, hey, I want new bylaws for lakefront soccer. I want them to be similar to other soccer-based clubs and organizations. Here's some examples. Great. It's 10 pages. It's not perfect. You still want to send it to your lawyer, right, to fine-tune, tweak. But the goal is hopefully that might save you time. Instead of the lawyer starting from scratch and it takes 20 hours, maybe it's down to 5. And that's the rub for all of us as professionals, right? In those fields like law, accounting, creative, that's our fear of this tool, right? Is that it can now do a better job than a lot of people that went to college for this and been doing this for years. There's good and bad things to that, but yes, it can do that.
Garrett, can I add one point to this?
Absolutely.
We were talking about songs earlier, and so I plugged that in, and it said because of copyright, it could not give me all the lyrics. It gave me a couple lines, and it said you want a revised version. So it can communicate that.
Yeah, once again, it's not perfect. It's going to do things here and there. All right, another question in the back. I like it. Correct. So that was the question. There's a lot of disinformation, and it's to get that. So that's another thing to watch out for. One of my other examples was I asked it to come up with 3 promotional ideas to attract customers to a new business which sells homemade baked goods. And then I asked it, okay, in Webster, New York, what is the most popular homemade baked good? And its response was essentially just a web search of generic stuff. It was an article from Missy from Webster on the web, and it was 2 promotional pieces from other places. Once again, you gotta watch out for that. You still as a human being need to use your brain and think about it, right? Read what it gives you and think, does this make sense? Do I need to cross-reference this? Am I gonna ask ChatGPT to double check this, or does this just not look right because it's missing a detail or something's wrong? Yeah, so the question was on how does ChatGPT get more information and resources? You can ask it to do a deeper research. You can ask it to verify facts. There's a ChatGPT module called Deep Research, which goes into that. And it does a remarkably well job. So one last thing to watch out for as you do this. We talked about hallucinations, where it makes stuff up. The other one to watch out for is confirmation bias. This is where it just tells you what you want to hear. So Tom, we're going to pick on you here, okay?
Oh boy.
So Tom, if you type into ChatGPT, who is the greatest town supervisor in the history of America, and it says Tom Flaherty with no information, it might be a little confirmation bias.
I would say so.
Okay. So Tom, that might also be why your phone heard you, ChatGPT heard you. It's like, what does Tom want to hear today? He wants to hear that he's the greatest town supervisor ever. So hopefully now with this video, that will get now sucked back into ChatGPT, and this will be a little feedback loop.
Yeah. That's great. That's wonderful.
So with that, I encourage all of you, use ChatGPT. Try it out. The more you use it, the more comfortable you get, the more friendly it's going to seem. All right? Hopefully it'll find ways to make your life a little bit easier. Last question. ChatGPT is owned by a company called OpenAI, Sam Altman. Right now it's kind of like Google in the early days, where they have a lot of traffic, they have a lot of people using it, there's a lot of money coming in, billions of dollars of private equity money. They're not yet a company that makes profit and money off of that, but at some point they will.
Like the free version that you're using, it briefly gives you access to their best model, but that cuts off after a few prompts, and you have to do it. There's a subscription service to pay to keep using the most advanced model.
$20. $20 a month.
All right, Tim, last question.
Nope, that was.
You're good?
Well, there's
Go
also when something is free, anything, whether it's a game or internet, you are the product. They want your data.
Yes, just like all the other products that exist on our phone that we use,
Yep.
we are the product. We are a wonderful, amazing product that helps these companies that doesn't get rewarded. But we do our best. If you have questions in this, please let me know. Otherwise, use ChatGPT, give it a try. It's gonna make your life easier. Barry? There you go.